some emerging trends, and there are some mega trends that are well established, or at least right now in focus for everyone. The latest thing, I would say, the releases from Apple and their idea of advancing in mixed reality, so having a possibility to work with VR at the same time, not disconnecting yourself from the virtual world, from the real world with the AR layer. But I would say for me, it's probably more interesting and important to point out that the trends like mindful technology. That's the trend in user experience or customer experience that refers to the unfortunate practice of brands to be quite loud for quite a while, as in the amount of notifications, messages, and different communications that we get are ever increasing. And there is a lack of respect for customers' attention, their as well time, and so on. So this trend has been picked up maybe kind of like within the last 5 years, but by the big tech like Microsoft, Apple, Google, and they started to introduce more tools to give the control to users, to customers, over how brands or how any communications are getting through them. But that sits within the devices or ecosystems. What needs to happen, and it's still, on the way, is that brands themselves need to rethink their communication strategy, need to make sure that they give value, not only trying to have one-sided transactional communication focused on the users and the customers. For me, the easiest example would be e-commerce, of course, because this is the stuff that I'm working with, and here we have multiple phases at which we are communicating with the customer. Usually that would be during the attract and inspire part of the journey. So this is before the customer has even found out about us or any other brand. So this is when through social media we're trying to get to them. Usually those are targeted at segments, but not yet targeted at personalities. Then as soon as you get into the universe or into the ecosystem of the brand, we continue, but we already probably know a bit more about you, because we have some data about your purchasing history and the data about your preferences, and therefore we can try and tailor some proposals. Nevertheless, in a lot of cases, it's not being done right, or it's not being done with, as I said, respect for attention and time. So we would, or anybody in this sector, would just utilize lifecycle communications to reach out to customers through email, through push notifications if you have the application installed on your phone and so on. After that, there are multiple transactional communications as well. It's all about, of course, transparency of what's happening with the order that you made. This is helpful, but also we are trying to, at all times, do the upsell and cross-sell, which is natural. But yet again, it might be a bit too overwhelming if you calculate the sum of all this communication directed towards the same customer. So ideally, we and anybody in the industry should have a proper communication strategy built around that, with the aim actually to address, again, the frequency and the quality of this content.